Hello and welcome to today's SAP Community Call. My name is Julia Rousseau and I'm part of the SAP Community team, and I'm your host during this call. Our topic of the session is What's New in 2006 to 2009 Releases, Non-Technical Audience. As always, this call is a recorded session, and you will be able to access all replays of previous SAP Community Calls at community.sap.com under the Events tab. And our speakers for the session are Soufia Maherzi, SAP Product Manager at SAP Intelligent Robotic Process Automation, and Pierre, Head of Communications for SAP Intelligent Robotic Process Automation. So they will give you an introduction to the different functionalities of SAP RPA and will present some interesting features around that. So now, before I hand over, I would like to make you aware of the Q&A button down below, where you can already raise some questions during the presentation. And after the presentation, we will answer the question then. So afterwards, we'll reserve some time for your Q&As and also not during this call. So Soufia, thank you very much for joining. The stage is yours now.
Thank you, Julia. Hello, everyone. Thank you very much for joining. Let me briefly introduce myself. My name is Soufia Maherzi. I'm a product manager at SAP Intelligent RPA team. And I am delighted to be here today to talk to you about all the new features that were added and improved to our product this last quarter. So let me show you my slides. All right, so here is our agenda for today. The presentation will be divided into 4 parts. First, I will begin by sharing some general news regarding SAP Intelligent RPA. Then you'll discover all the new cloud components, including alerts, additional privileges, supportability improvements, and many other features. Next, I will present the on-premise components that were improved during the last releases. And finally, we'll finish with our head of communication, Pierre, who will be presenting marketing and communication at SAP Intelligent RPA. All right, so first, some general information regarding our product. In June, we have added Ali Cloud support, and this enabled us to sign a new customer contracts in China. Also, note that you have a list of languages to choose from when you are using our product, and you can now choose 3 additional languages, which are Simplified Chinese, Traditional Chinese, and Russian. Okay, now let's talk about some cloud improvements. In these releases, we have introduced the alerting feature, focusing for now on agent-related events. When you are creating your agents, you might want to be notified if specific events occurred. And you can now do so by creating alerts on agent events. For example, agent is deleted, connection to agent is lost, and so on. You can also create alerts on distribution events. This is if no eligible agent was found. You will be notified by receiving an email every time this event occurs. And the alerts are accessible within the Agents tab. However, this might change in future releases as we're working to globalize the alerting feature and to notify you on any other event. All right, so to configure the email servers that will be receiving the notifications, we have added a new configuration tab inside the factory. Here you have to provide the required information, such as server name, security methods, user credentials, and so on. If you wish to test your configuration, you can send a test mail by indicating the email address and the content text in the test mail dialog. Note that this configuration is based on a tenant level. All right, now let's talk about the new updates regarding agent management. You will sometimes need to share an agent among multiple users, and we have added shortcuts directly from the agents table for you to easily and quickly share a specific agent. Secondly, on the previous releases, you had to always define agents inside an agent groups in order to use them in environments and therefore launch job executions. However, this is not very useful when you're doing just small deployments. Therefore, you can now register agents without having to necessarily define them in an agent group, and you can directly add them inside your environment. Another update in the factory is the overall navigation that was recently reviewed to improve your experience using our factory. You will now view agent details, agent groups, and alerts inside the Agents tab. Also, you will be able to view job details, logs, consumption data, as well as reporting dashboards in the Monitoring tab in this menu. There are also some new improvements in the environment homepage. We know it's important that you need to be able to easily focus on crucial information that could impact your environment. Therefore, we've redesigned the homepage to quickly find warnings and errors that would require immediate action. This is done by displaying specific element status and also an improved color coding. But also, you now have shortcuts and key metrics on each environment entity. So packages, triggers, variables, so on. In addition, you can now keep track of your usage rate to manage your resources data, quota, sorry. As an IRPA officer, you will view how quotas are evolving by using this new usage dialog. Here, you can see the quota utilization rate of each resources, project, packages, versions, files, and desktop packages. And note that if you exceed an 80% utilization rate, it will be displayed in orange. This is a warning to notify you that you are soon reaching the quota limit. So for security purposes, you might want to restrict specific authorizations to a number of users. Therefore, we've also added privileges on agents and the associated sharing capabilities. You can authorize a user or a group of users to read and manage a particular agent. This will enable them to modify, share, and access the agent. Similarly, you can also allow others to read, manage, and edit your agent groups. And this is done in the agent or the agent group detail. Furthermore, as a project member role, you are now able to do more actions to manipulate your agents. This includes, for example, registering new agents and agent groups, also managing agents and agent groups that were previously shared with you. You can also assign them to environments directly. Finally, you can also authorize users to view the details of jobs that were triggered in an environment. This is done by giving the view jobs data environment right. Previously, you could do this, but you had to have a RIPA personal data access role to do so. Now, let's turn to job scheduling. We now offer a more complete experience when creating unattended jobs. So you can set different time zones to run scheduled jobs. This is useful if, let's say, for example, your central IT department is located in a country and you have other subsidiaries in other countries or cities. You might want to schedule everything out of the central IT department, but with local time zones. And you can now do so with this feature. Also, you can set an expiration date. This will cancel a job automatically after a specific time period that you will be indicating. This will help you avoid infinite job creation. We've also updated the creation of notifiers. It is now possible to use list variables inside the notifier payload, and you can access each individual element of this list as shown here in the payload of this API notifier. Note that you can also use the variables inside the request URL. Now on to monitoring your bots. Before this release, a job could remain in what we call a ready state. And there would be no easy way to troubleshoot when a job execution was blocked. Sometimes it can be due to the fact that no agents were defined in the job environment, or also no unattended agents are available. Also SDK incompatibility, or just that other jobs need to be processed before. However, with this new update, you will have more details when a job is stuck in ready mode by clicking the warning sign next to the job status. Here you can see the distribution rules and better understand the root cause of why the job was not distributed. Another way to troubleshoot jobs that failed is the additional expired status. Here, if your agent does not return the result in time, the job will automatically be set to expired. Additionally, you can also monitor hierarchical job status. This means that when a job launches another job, the status of the parent job will depend on the status of the child automation that was launched. We have two use cases here. The first use case is a process that is launching an automation. If the automation is stuck in ready mode, then the process will have the same state. The second use case is if a process launches multiple automations. So let's say the first automation is successful, the second automation is in ready status. Therefore, the process state will be waiting. Furthermore, we have also improved the supportability when you create triggers. So as a reminder, a job can be triggered if it contains triggerable artifacts. So for scheduled and API triggers, the rule is to have a process or a scenario. And for attended triggers, the rule is to have a desktop package. If these artifacts are not available, you will get a tooltip that will explain why the option is grayed out. In addition, you can also view logs regarding environment variables. Indeed, sometimes a job can fail because the variable was not found. This can be due to a typo or also because it was just not defined in the environment. In this case, a message will be displayed indicating that the job was not able to access the particular variable, and you can go to the specific environment to troubleshoot. We've also added impact analysis when removing agents that were previously used. So for this new improvement, we have two use cases. First, let's say you already added an agent group inside your environment. When you will try to delete it from the agent group tab, you will have a pop-up that lists all the environments that will be affected if you delete this agent group. And if you accept to delete it, then it will be deleted out of all the environments where it was added. The second use case is if your agent is connected to the tenant and you add it directly in an environment. So this is the new improvement that I talked about earlier. Similarly, you open the agent tab and try to delete it, then you will see a list of environments that will be impacted. In this case, you will also have a warning in the information control of your environment, which will indicate that the agent has been disconnected and it was deleted out of the agents tab. Last but not least, we introduced some new improvements on SAP UI5 and WinGUI controls. So on SAP UI5, we've added some methods based on feedback from the S4 team. This includes knowing if the controls are enabled or disabled, removing tokens from multi-input controls, the update of the wait ready method to wait for all controls to be ready, and managing dates in string formats. Also on WinGUI, we've added methods in the GUI combo box. Now you will be able to display lists and also display and update keys and values. Finally, our store now has 40 additional bots this quarter. So this is a total of 130 bots. Don't forget that you have access to this public site to browse all the submitted bots to the store. And that brings me to the end of my presentation. Thank you very much for your attention. I will now pass you over to my colleague, Pierre. Pierre, the stage is yours.
Thank you, Soufia. Hello, and good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, everyone. I'm Pierre, and I'm in charge of communications and marketing for SAP Intelligent RPA within the product team. So I will walk you through a quick update on our marketing and communication activities. Next, please. So a few words about our communication on social channels. We have a wide reach on LinkedIn with now more than 24,000 followers that are reading our updates, and not only reading, but also commenting, liking, or resharing. So we post a lot of updates, whether that is general news or technical blog posts. So if you have interested news concerning SAP Intelligent RPA, feel free to reach out to me or to tag SAP Intelligent RPA in your LinkedIn post to allow us to amplify. We are also active on Twitter and also YouTube, where we publish videos with use cases, demonstrations, or technical webinars as well. Next, please. On LinkedIn, we have a very strong engagement rate. It's above 5%, which is very good. That shows that we have an engaged community around our overall RPA topic and our product, of course. And you see here some information about the demographics of our followers on LinkedIn. Many of them are RPA developers, RPA consultants, RPA practitioners, based from many of them in India, but also in other areas of the world. We have a worldwide audience here. Next. So here you see our SAP Community topic page, which is available on community.sap.com. We have 300 followers, and more than half of them are actively contributing, whether they write blog posts, and we already have almost 300 blog posts on SAP Intelligent RPA, but also asking questions or answering questions from other members of the community around our product. We have a lot of questions on how can I do this, how can I do that, and experts in our community are directly answering questions from members. We have also at your disposal free trainings and courses provided by OpenSAP on this MOOC platform. Our first course launched last year had more than 27,000 learners. Or a technical course on how to build bots with SAP PA had 18,000 learners last year and 14,000 this year. It has been relaunched in Q2 this year. Those courses are still open in self-paced mode. So if you want to have more information on our product, feel free to use these courses. There are also courses around S/4HANA and Intelligent RPA. And a course will come in October this year, provided by our colleagues from the SAP S/4HANA team on how to deliver value with intelligent innovations in SAP S/4HANA. And SAP Intelligent RPA is one of those intelligent capabilities that will be shown here. So it starts October 19th. Feel free to register and to follow that course. We are also promoting our customer success stories by creating what is called at SAP Business Transformation Studies. Those documents can be 1-pager, 2-pager, 6-pagers, and they explain what was the pain point of a customer, how he used SAP Intelligent RPA to solve it, and what are the business outcomes he gained during this project. So the latest one here is interesting. It's about HP Enterprise, which use not only SAP Intelligent RPA, but also 2 other capabilities available on SAP Cloud Platform, SAP Conversational AI for chatbots, and Service Ticket Intelligence AI business services. And using those 3 capabilities together, HP has been able to dramatically improve the user experience for their technical support. So you have here the link to download this document. We have already a dozen of such business transformation studies on SAP Intelligent RPA projects and customers. So if you want to share your experience on an RPA project, again, feel free to reach out to me and I will connect you with the customer reference team to create such stories. So here are the stories that are already available with Villeroy & Boch, Reao, Daewoo Pharmaceutical in Korea, Zurich Canton in Switzerland, Zulik Pharma in Singapore, Murphy Oil in the US, Grupo Ultramar in Chile, and Uniper in Germany. So if you are working for a customer and want to share your experience, or if you are working for a partner and want to show what you did for a customer and the business outcomes you gained with an RPA project, feel free to reach out to me. We have also, during the last quarter, updated a tool which is available both online and as a PDF document. This is a use case discovery tool, allowing you to browse 12 use cases, 6 new have been added recently, to figure out what RPA can achieve in terms of results in different areas. Next slide. So you see here those use cases in financing, in procurement, in HR, in a lot of different areas. Those use cases are described in details, and you have indications of the kind of KPIs and return on investments that could be rapidly achieved. So that's the end of my short presentation. So you have here the QR code to reach out to our SAP community page. As I see that we have plenty of time, I will rapidly walk you also through this community page. And you have also here the links and the handles of our Twitter account, our LinkedIn page, and our YouTube channel. So feel free to register, to follow, and to have all the information you need here. So I will share my screen if Soufia gives me the hand.
Yes, you should have it now.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Okay, so do you see my screen?
Yes, we can see it.
So here it's our SAP Intelligent APA topic page on SAP Community. You see on top of the page a banner where we bring some news. So here it's the registration link for this call of today. And here you have a lot of content or series of APA Talk videos, how to start with our trial version, all of our community calls, some customer success stories with the HPA story I told you about earlier, featured blog posts, use cases, etc., plus expert content here. And at the bottom of the page, you can access directly in lists the latest blog post about SAP Intelligent APA, and also the latest questions and answers from the community about our topic. So here you see the list of blog posts. We have almost 300 blog posts. Some of them are, I would say, thought leadership content. Some are unveiling new features. For instance, here, our colleague Andreas Gerber wrote last week a blog post to unveil the new process recorders that will be available soon in SAP Intelligent APA 2.0. So he explains what this new feature will bring, and you can see it in a video. We also have a lot of technical blog posts where some of our users are explaining how they have done this or that with the product. Here, for instance, Vishal Kumar Dubey explained how to make API or web service call in a SAP Intelligent APA bot with a lot of screenshots and explanations on how to do it. So it's really a great way to find information to better and quickly use the product. And you also have technical questions. So if you have a question about the product, you can ask your question here. You can search in the community questions to find if this question has already been raised and answered. Otherwise, you ask it. And you have here all the questions and answers provided by not only experts from the SAP Intelligent APA team, but also other members of the community. So here, for instance, someone asked how to simulate enter in an SAP logon process in an SAP APA bot. And you have here 3 answers, providing with a screenshot the code that works for doing that. So we are very committed in providing a lot of updates in our community and in interacting with all of our users. So feel free to use our community to raise questions and eventually to share your experience in blog posts.
So
that's it from my side. I hand over back to Soufia.
Yes, so maybe we can have a look at the questions.
Yeah, thank you very much, Soufia and Pierre. So I saw that there are 3 questions in our Q&A, and you are free to decide which to choose first. So it's up to you. Thank you very much.
Thank you. So I think I can take the question from Stephen. Are there any plans to make the diagnostics recorded by the agents to become visible in the factory monitoring? So this will be available as it is work in progress, but it will be in the next quarter or maybe the one after. We'll keep you updated regarding this. Pierre, I think you can take the next questions.
I can take the other question. So the next question from Ricardo, how can I request support with RPA tool? We have members of our teams that are regional champions of SAP Intelligent RPA that can support you in implementing for a customer, whether it's a bug or a project already signed. So feel free to drop an email to rpa@sap.com, and we will put you in touch with the people that can help you rapidly. And I will also answer the question from Abderrahman, how to join the free courses. That's very easy. You go to open.sap.com website. So here you have the catalog of all the courses. Then you search Intelligent RPA in the search box. You have the list of the RPA courses, and you just register to the course, and then you have access to the content. You have videos with lessons, and you have tests after each chapter of the course to check your knowledge. And at the end, you have a certificate after an evaluation of the knowledge and the overall course. Thank you, Alex, for posting the link in the chat.
So thank you very much. We can also make this an interactive Q&A session. So if you attendees raise your hands, and then I can unmute you, and you can also ask a question live if you want to. So are there any more questions for our speakers of today? So if there are no, oh yes.
I saw a question from Sven in the chat, not in the Q&A. Maybe Alex, if you have the answer.
Yeah, I was, so will be there a better bot repository for own bots similar to the store? So for now, the store is limited for our pre-built content from, for instance, from SAP GUI or for the S/4HANA team. But in the future, we want to evolve the bot store concept that we have so far to extend to other usage. But that is not yet available for now. But we have some plan for making improvement on this area, for sharing content and on the kind of stuff. The sharing concept that we have so far on the factory is some first steps on this, but it will evolve over time. Did I answer your question, Sven?
So Sven, I'm going to unmute you. So did it answer your question?
Yes, thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, perfect. Is there anyone else who wants to raise a question? If you have questions later, you can always contact our speakers directly, rather like over the community profile page that I send in the chat, or when you want to ask a question in the community and you tag Intelligent RPA, then the speakers will also see the questions and answer your questions. So if there are not any more questions, then I'm going to end this call now. Thank you very much for joining, and have a great rest of the day. And thank you much for the speakers, Pierre and Soufia. That was an insightful and an amazing presentation. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.